Yes.
We're starting with Prince William and Kate Middleton on a royal tour of the Caribbean, stirring up a lot of controversy. Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness told Prince William his country intends to become independent from the UK and the Crown. In a speech, the Duke of Cambridge then spoke of his profound sorrow while addressing the history of slavery. This tour has been not like most royal tours. So what do you think about his statement? What do you think about this whole thing? Does it sound like an apology, B?
Not at all. Not at all. So my parents are Jamaican, and a lot of my work surrounds Caribbean history and Caribbean culture. So I've thought a lot about colonialism and the monarchy in the Caribbean over, a lot of my life. And what William gave us was not an apology. An apology on its most basic level consists of acknowledgement, accountability, and action. We got basic acknowledgement. We didn't get anything more than that. And that's why there's so much talk around pushing for reparations, pushing for that action from the British to repay what has been done and the damage that has been caused by the monarchy enacting colonialism and slavery throughout the Caribbean. Now, when it comes to reparations, a lot of people say, well, it's not going to impact or benefit the people who are actually enslaved in Jamaica and other areas of the Caribbean. And that's true. Like, my ancestors who were enslaved will not benefit from reparations. But the effects of colonialism and enslavement are still felt today through Jamaica and the Caribbean and almost everywhere that the transatlantic slave trade touches. So when we think about policing and justice, when we think about the education system, we think about employment, we think about the tourism industry, all of those things have been shaped and molded through colonialism and enslavement. So reparations are needed. That action is needed now. And it was really cowardly of William to not go there. I didn't expect him to, because the whole monarchy is cowardly to me. But that's where we're at. We need the accountability and we need the action.
Well, thank you for pointing that out, B, because there was this, following around the time of William's statements, there was this information going around. This tweet sums it up. And it's about the taxation system in the UK and who was taxed. And so what they were saying was only up until 2015 were British taxpayers still paying slave owners compensation for ending slavery. So here it says, if you're a British taxpayer, you were paying reparations from the abolition of slavery in 1833 all the way to 2015 to the owners of slaves rather than to former slaves themselves, and no one made a peep. And so to your point, B, in terms of the consequences of slavery and who's still paying for those consequences, people in our modern times actually still are.
Exactly. And you could see where they took action, but the action went to, repaying the slave owners who were losing that human labor. So the action can be done. It's just a choice not to at this moment, but we got to keep pushing for it.
Jamie, what do you think? My mind's blown.
I mean, B, I know, this was it. B said everything. That clip needs to be up on YouTube and across Twitter, and it's all the things. I think, when I look at this, I think a lot about the royal family as a brand. And Lainey, you've done a lot of work around this, around really analyzing what it means for this family. And it's so expected of this family to do this colonial tour and sort of expect to be treated with open arms, or think that saying that they express sorrow is enough, and not have the self-awareness to realize that they're so out of step of where we are in 2022. So I think that, this is another misstep. I don't understand what they thought was going to happen with this tour. And it just sort of, it's so out of step. But it's expected. What more can we expect from them?
B, you hit on something when you said your ancestors will not be able to receive those reparations. And I read something a couple of days ago about King William III. He was a part owner of one of the largest slave trading operations in the Americas. I can't remember the name right now. But of course, he's an ancestor of the royal family. The idea that your ancestors won't receive reparations, but the royal family is still, in fact, benefiting from that money, because that money that he made actually went into a Kensington Palace. It was called something differently. So the idea that William and Kate, they live there, right? In Kensington Palace.
Yes, they do.
Like, that just sort of, when you pointed that out, it's got to go both ways.
Well, it's the British Empire was formed because they were able to use slave trade in the colonies to harvest all the products, you know, whatever the sugar, the agriculture, and then ship it around the world to build their coffers. That's why the British Empire became an empire. So they're still like enjoying those benefits.
Yeah.
So to your point, why can't the ancestors of people who were enslaved enjoy at least reparations? Not enjoy, that's a terrible word to say, but benefit from.
We know what you mean.